Nah, let it record first. Yeah, okay. So hi, Kelvin. Thanks for taking the time
Hello.
again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted the people to hear a story because you have an interesting story, which is you used to be English literature student, right?
No, I used to teach English.
You used to teach English. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. You used to teach English. And what were you doing in uni?
I took education and then did an internship in a school.
Okay, yeah. So my point is, you used to come from you came from an education background. You were an English teacher, and then you became a coder, which is very interesting story to hear. Maybe tell me what is your background? What's your story like actually? The past all these years from when you first studied in
When my
uni.
first study in uni, they have like a basic course in HTML, and then it was very basic. They just teach about using Notepad and then just a basic HTML page. Then I went to Udemy and learned about CSS and JavaScript, and then I can build some learning tools for the kids. Then I went on for my internship. Even though I was like a top scorer, then when I went to internship, I felt like quite a culture shock. It's very different what they taught in uni, the real work environment. Then I asked myself, do I really want to do that for the next 30 years? I think no, I don't want to do it for the next 30 years. So I'm like, okay, since I was like already developing some stuff for the kids, right? Maybe I should join the tech industry. I got quite a few job offers in the Java. But then nobody really believe in that I can work in tech. I need the money to get by for the first month. Like even if I take the job offer, right, I still need the money to survive for the first month. You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
But then like people are saying like you don't have a degree, you cannot get a job there. Nobody really believe in me. So luckily I came across like the hacker collective. And I believe one of the members was from my school, primary school last time, Derek, I think.
Ah.
Yeah, Derek. So the fees are very affordable, but I still had problem with paying the fees. So how I cover the fees was I went on and proofread other people's university assignments and clean the house of some other people to cover the fees. Even though I had like some problems to pay, they gave me like some buffer time to pay. So I managed to pay anyway and got a job offer from you guys. And I worked as a front end guy for about 1 year. Then people around me started to take me seriously and they asked me to help them build their website. So my parents, they just offered me to sponsor for study in 1 year in the university.
Hmm.
Mm.
Interesting. Okay, that's amazing to really hear that kind of journey. So, I mean, coming from yourself, having went to uni and then you came and worked with us in the Hacker Collective, and then people took you seriously, and then now you went back to uni again to learn up more. What is in terms of your mindset? What's the direction that people should take? Should they go to uni? Should they be like you, just learn and then do on the job and then go to uni later? What do you think is the best way, or what is the way that people can go to become a coder and learn up fast?
I mean, before you join any industry, right? Um, you shouldn't just look at the good sides of the industry. You have to also like be a bit realistic and just ask yourself whether you can tolerate the bad side of the industry. Like for every industry, you have pros and cons. For example, in the tech, right, you have to face the computer like almost all the time and hardly face people. But for me, it's okay. So I think this industry is okay for me. So you have to like first thing you have to ask yourself, do you really want to work in the industry? Like, you have to
Mm.
look at the cons also, not just the pros. And you should talk to the people in the industry. Like don't just directly sign up for the course in university first, because
Mm.
um, the in the university, right, uh, some of the lecturers may not have been working in the industry. Like they just finished their degree and then went on for a master and PhD. Like directly they went into work in the academia. So you should talk to the people in the industry. And just what I did was I also listened to some of the YouTubers, like just listen to what they feel about the industry, like, and then also try coding. Like a lot of people, they have this mindset that they think that coding is something arcane, magical, like only genius can do it. But actually, it's not the case. Actually,
Mm.
you should just try it anyway. Like it doesn't cost money. Just go online, YouTube. We have a lot of resources. Just try. But if you decide to try coding, right, I have one more suggestion. Like have a project that you want to build in mind. Like last time, what I did was I just went in and then I binge watched a lot of tutorials and I end up not really learning much. So
Ah.
if you know what you want to build first, right, then you go in and learn about the coding. Right? It's not that dry. I mean, you just watch a bunch of videos in explaining about the concepts, and it will be very plain and dry and very hard to understand.
Mm.
If you already have something in mind that you want to build, then yeah, it is definitely very helpful.
Interesting. I cannot agree more to that, lah. Especially when you work on something like a project. That's how you learn better and faster as well.
Mm.
Okay, very interesting perspective on that. Now, for yourself, you've become a developer. You've learned a lot, in terms of web, and you even done some data science, I believe, as well. You've explored it. Actually, what do you feel is the career path for developers? I mean, maybe for yourself, can share what is your plans, as a developer the next 3 to 4 to 5 years?
The other day I was listening to one of the YouTubers about tech, right? I think his name was Clement. I don't know the full name. He used to work for Facebook and Google. And now he's like an entrepreneur. He said that in your first 5 years in the tech, right, don't be afraid to change around. Like it's okay to start off as a web developer and then you change to others. It's very normal. And so I think I'm fine with working as either a web developer or a data scientist.
But
Mm,
what's your plans for yourself down the
What's
road?
my plan?
Yeah, or you're
Like
not
in
too
the next
sure.
5 years, right?
Yeah, let's say.
Okay, in the next 5 years, I see myself working in a job with a good work-life balance so that I can have the time for my own projects, personal projects. So currently I'm working on building my own website that has like machine learning in the website. For example, like you have a lot of web page, like each of the web page, right? It is its own uh, machine learning app. So I was testing how to integrate the machine learning in a web
Mm.
page. I managed to like use the form in the HTML to send to the backend, and then it will return a prediction. For example, I was testing on the Titanic data set. Like it's a very famous data science project where they predict based on the age, based on the gender, and based on the social class. You can predict whether the person will actually survive the Titanic. I mean, it's not an impressive project, but I was just testing how to integrate.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
far, yeah, it's okay. I think I managed to integrate using
Okay.
Python. I was using Python.
So basically, you foresee, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to work in a company where there's work-life balance because as a developer, you want to be able to work on your own projects as well. That
Yeah,
excites you, right? Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think that's something that even Google does as well. They allocate 10% of your time a week to do your own projects, even during working hours, and that's pretty interesting. Um, okay, so I think for me really is why, apart from you being able to sit in front of a computer all day, what's the more exciting thing why you chose to do coding, or why, if someone's considering coding lah, right, apart from being able to sit in front of a computer all day, what is the thing that excites you about coding, that makes people
uh,
want to join it?
I mean, when I was I mean, when I was in school last time, I like science a lot. Then I like to do experiments and just create new things. And then I just realized that if I want to do that in the real life, right, like not many people they can fund their own scientific research
Mm.
and just do innovation. But then in tech, it's different. As long as you have a computer, right, you can create a lot of things. Not to say anything, but still you can create quite a lot of things. Just with programming and a computer,
Mm.
a lot of possibilities are there.
Yeah, that's exciting, right? With just a keyboard, you can create Facebook, you can create anything you want with just a keyboard. And I mean, technically you could, although it'd be impossible, but you could create anything you wanted out there, which is pretty interesting. The freedom it gives. Okay, that's good. That's good to hear. What as yourself being a coder for about 1-2 years, I'm not sure, maybe you had a couple of years experience. What is one thing you feel a lot of beginner coders or people who just started out in the coding world, even the first 5 years on the job, what is one thing that they all lack? What is one thing that you feel coders generally lack, or that you lack that you wish you had, that could really help you in your career as a developer? What is that few key things, if you know of any?
I mean, you need to get your hands dirty, like not just listen to the tutorials only. Like, you have
Uh,
to do some typing. And as I mentioned, you need to have a end project in mind. Otherwise, you're just watching the videos and just doing that.
as a
What
developer now, what is
mm,
something you wish you could improve on that you feel that you are lacking,
I feel that I am lacking.
that will help you in your
Mm,
career,
I
if
think
anything?
I need to do more collaboration projects because most of the time I just work on my own.
Mm.
Mm,
And you raised a good point there. One thing I realized in the tech world is that people, and because tech is just, you can do it yourself. That's the thing. You can do it yourself. Everyone ends up not collaborating and doing everything by themselves. I mean, when you say collaboration, how does it really help a developer become better in his career? How does collaboration, you think, would help you and help other developers as well?
um, how does it help? Because the tech industry is very broad. Like people come from can do and specialize in different things. So it's helpful to have someone else that specialize in the subject, like the other subject. Nobody can know everything in the tech industry. It's not important. I mean, it's not possible. So if you have someone else that is specialized in something else, then it will make the project a lot smoother and faster.
Hmm.
You also learn from them, of course.
Interesting. Okay. So my last few questions here before I just hand it over to you to just share anything if you want to share. But what is, if somebody out there now wants to work on something exciting in coding, right? They want to learn something new. They want to know what is exciting in programming. Is there anything that you can share with them now about what excites you that maybe can excite them as well? What is a field they should be involved in? you know what do you think is exciting, that is interesting for you right now?
I mean, the interest, I don't know about other people's interest, of course. Like everyone has their own interest.
Yeah,
So you're asking for my interest now?
let's say for yourself, yeah, to someone who is very new to programming, they're open to hearing anything interesting, right? What is a few interesting fields in programming now that you yourself think is very relevant?
I think it's data science, I feel. Because nowadays, uh, like everything is about data now. Like our phones, social media, and it's generating a lot of data, and you can do a lot of things with data. For example, you can and like your data tells a lot about you, right? Like your web browsing history, your social media posts. It yeah, how do I put this? You can find a lot of insights in the data itself now. But then I feel like you can actually make the software or website more smart with data science. Because uh, in my current program, right, it's mainly focusing on data science and how to actually do the reporting to the stakeholders in the organization. But then I feel like you can also not just limited to this. You can actually expand it into software development and just make something smart. Like yeah, programs are common, but if you can integrate machine learning or AI capabilities in it to make it smarter, then yeah, it's very interesting. You can build even more sophisticated softwares. Like
Mm.
yeah, like the project that I'm working on for the website. I plan to like have many different web page, and each website, I mean each of the web page, right, they have their own machine learning. For example, I'm planning to do like do image recognition on the catalogs from like, major supermarket, so that I
Yeah.
can like read the price and then just do compute just like one web page to see all the price of the from the other catalog, like just aggregate them in one. So that one
Mm.
is one of the projects that I was thinking on.
Mm. Okay, interesting stuff. So I want to maybe leave the floor to you for a bit. Is there anything that you wish to share to people who want to learn coding? Maybe someone 2 years behind you in your journey. What is your advice you would give them?
Before signing up for any course in the university,
Maybe someone is just
just
very new in the very beginning, haven't signed up to any course yet. What's your
yeah,
advice you would
just
give them?
uh, like I say, like go and talk to the people in the industry, and then try to build something.
Mm.
Just don't worry about making mistakes. And you just go and try only. And like there are a lot of free resources that you can find online. So you just use the online free resources and build something, anything. Yeah, just build something. What else can I say?
Not so easy to build something, right?
Not, not is it? I mean, it depends on the scope of your project lah.
Yeah.
Mm.
True. You're right. You're right.
I mean, you can build something that is very simple for yourself, just
Mm.
for yourself only. Maybe some kind of to-do list is very common. You can just build it for yourself.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay. Interesting. But yeah, no, Kelvin, it's been very eye-opening to hear your message. Uh, what's next for you for this year? Just out of curiosity.
What's next?
What's currently on the line for you? I don't think COVID has affected you at all, right? This year, what's your plans
Mm.
like?
I mean, cannot go out lah. Other than that, yeah, cannot go out at all lah. What's my plan currently? I still have like few reports to write. I think I have 3 weeks break starting
Hmm.
from next week, so I can
Because you're
continue
still
working
studying,
on
right? You're still studying in what degree is this called?
data science.
Data science masters, is it? I'm guessing is a 1 year
Yeah.
program. I see. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything
So
else left to share to the community about anything you want to add?
anything I want to add. The
Anything
difference
in general?
between university learning and self-learning, right? The other day we were discussing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it about again?
Well, what's your take? Uni learning and self-learning. I mean, someone who's a uni grad for 3 years or someone who self-learned for 3 years. What will be the difference?
What would be a difference? I mean, in university, it's a very formalized learning environment. They have to comply by the rules from the government. So everything is very standardized. Uh, in a way that it forces you to learn some of the concepts. Uh, like if you do self-learning, you need to have discipline, of course. One thing that I noticed in university learning is that um, there's a lot of emphasis on writing reports. I feel like if you really want to be a developer, 3 years of purely writing codes versus 3 years in university, I feel like the self learner guy, right, would be better coder.
Because of the reports you have to do in uni. A lot of the non-coding stuff.
Like tens, sometimes hundreds of pages.
Wow. Why is this the case? Do you have to write reports constantly in uni?
Why is the case? Because university is supposed to be a place where you create the latest innovation and the knowledge. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about uni research.
Yeah, talking about the research and then the conferences. In fact, I think the KPI for the staff is only 10% in teaching, 90% in the research.
Wow.
Mm.
Okay. That makes sense. That's very interesting to hear. And students often spend more time writing reports than doing actual code, is it?
I mean, even when I was in my old university, and other people from the computer science, right, they saw that I was building stuff for the kids, right? So they were like, "How did you learn to build this?" And I was shocked. I'm like, "Shouldn't you actually know how to code? How can you not know how to code?" Then then yeah, now that I think of it, I think it's because a lot of the time is actually spent on writing reports. In fact, uh, as soon as I graduated last time, right, how I got the job offers, right, even without a IT degree, right, was because quite a few of the bosses, they were complaining to me that the IT grads, right, they expect very high salary when they need to be retrained. I think it's also partly because in university, right, the curriculum, you need the government to, how to say, approve it. So it might take time, and then the tech industry, it evolves very fast. So you, by the time they approve it already, right, the syllabus may not be the latest already.
Hmm.
Like in fact, when I learned HTML in my old university, we were using Notepad, and
Ah,
during the exam, right, we had to like use our pen and write the HTML code in the paper.
wow.
Yeah, that was like, now that I think of it, it's, I don't know, I don't know what to say.
No worries, lah. I think maybe one day, you as a educator and also a coder can try and invent something new as well, since you have both education background and coding background, right? Yeah, yeah.
uh,
But
yeah.
yeah, no, very interesting. Kelvin, thanks really very much for sharing. And
Mm,
yes, we are very looking forward to hearing from you again and reaching out to you in the community. So thank
mm-hmm,
you very much. I'm gonna pause the recording now.
mm,
Say bye bye.
yeah, bye.